So it will be a tense month for the late Pisces who are born mid-March. If this is you, hang tight, I will get to it soon. For other earlier Pisces, it's a more peaceful month. But if that's you, it still pays to pay extra attention to what's going on between you and the important people in your life. I am Nadia, the astrologer for people who do not necessarily believe in astrology, but who love hearing their monthly forecasts. And this is yours for September 2025. Let's start with Saturn. So what Saturn has been doing in the past years actually is that it has been transiting your own sign since 2023. It was putting pressure on you. It wanted you to act your age. It wanted you to take your responsibilities and limitations and also age seriously. And then at the very end of May 2025, so just recently, it moved into the next sign of Aries. Now, Aries is your area of personal finance. It's how you earn, how you spend, and what you own, the property that you have. And Saturn will be here for a couple of years. And it would want you to invest some effort and planning and time in this money-related area of your life. But now it is in a retrograde phase, and in this retrograde phase, it is now moving back into your own sign just for a little bit to work on some unfinished business. It's entering your sign right on the 1st of September, and it will not go too far. So the people it will be pressuring the most are the late Pisces, so those born in the middle of March. If this is you, then the months ahead, before it moves again into Aries for good in February 2026, could be the months heavy with responsibility, with boundaries, with a demand to grow up and take yourself seriously that felt momentarily lighter in the summer, but this pressure is back. So if this is you, if you are the March type of Pisces, just hold on. It's only for a few months. Take yourself seriously. Do the work. Saturn has a lot of respect for minimalism. The good news here is that Saturn here will be extremely well aspected in the final months of 2025. So if you are this late Pisces and if you start feeling pressure already this September, then just know that doing the work would really pay off, if only because of all of those truly amazing beneficial aspects that Saturn will be forming with the other planets. So whatever work you put in, it's very likely to bring in a lot of good results. If you're not late Pisces, you would still feel some kind of pressure. You would still probably need to finish something up. And here the focus is on finishing. So whatever you do not want to carry with you in the indefinite future, and it's a drag, you don't want to do it. Saturn is the planet that makes us do what we don't feel like doing. So start using Saturn's powers and just do what needs to be done. Now to Mercury. On the 2nd of September, it moves into Virgo. It will speed through the whole sign in just 16 days. So it will enter the next sign on the 18th. It's important because in your horoscope, Virgo rules important one-on-one relationships. And Mercury is a planet of communication and dialogue and connecting with other people. So raise the questions that need to be raised, discuss things that you want to discuss, negotiate. Also, try to make your discussions more fact-based. It's also an amazing time to sign documents, agreements. Now, before we come any further, by now you probably know it pays to watch the forecast for both your sun sign and your rising sign. As good as that can be, it still will not show you how the transits we're talking about are affecting the other important planets and points in your own natal chart, like your Venus or your midheaven. It will also tell you absolutely nothing about how your own progress chart is unfolding, which is basically your individual astrological developmental plan. This is the kind of deeper personal layer I cover in private readings, and you can book one with me through the link up here and below in the description. Now back to your month ahead. On the 7th of September we have a full moon in Pisces in your own sign, and it is not just a full moon, it's also a total lunar eclipse. Now, what is the difference? If it's a normal full moon, it acts as a spotlight. It illuminates something. It brings everyone's attention to something. So a normal full moon would have made you more visible to yourself. So you would have to pay attention to yourself and what you do and how you look like and how you behave, what kind of person you are, what other people think of you. But you would also be more visible to the outside world. People would also see you as more significant, more worthy of attention. And this is a good time for using this visibility, basically. The lunar eclipse is different. The full moon is illuminating and the eclipse is eclipsing the part of us that the moon is responsible for. So this instinctual, habitual, emotional part that acts not because of our decisions, but because of how we feel. This may change. Something may shift in your emotional life, in how you are carrying yourself, in how you speak, in how you are present when you are with other people. So you may feel that something has shifted. And the good news is that this full moon, this lunar eclipse, is very well aspected. One of the planets it is forming a helpful, beneficial aspect with is Jupiter, the planet of wisdom, expansion, growth, etc., in your area of fun, games, joyful activities, romance, creativity, and such. So it could be that because you started investing more in those joyful activities, you now will notice that, oh, I have a totally different emotional presence. I don't know where it came from, but I feel differently. How pleasant. That could be a thing. Or maybe it is because something is shifting in your emotional essence. You are now able to do more of those joyful things in your life. Now back to Mercury. So it was transiting Virgo, where it was helping you with one-on-one relationships in your life, romantic, friendly, collegial, etc. Then on the 18th, it moves into the next sign of Libra. And Libra in your horoscope represents relationships where there is some form of interdependence. It could either be relationships where intimate trust is present, like the relationships you have with your partner, your spouse, a person who you have so much that you share that it's impossible to exit the relationship without hurting something. Or it could be a business relationship where you are sharing something that is your baby and something that belongs to both of you. And it's also very hard to disentangle that. And Libra also rules your area of psychological depths, basically. So whatever that is, starting with the 18th of September, Mercury will help you apply your intellect and your thinking capabilities and your reasoning and your ability to hold a conversation and to also mind the opinion of the other person in your life to improve something in one of those areas. So to make the intimate relationship in your life more fulfilling, to make sure you understand each other better, to raise some questions with your business partner, if you have one, with the investor, someone who has a skin in the game that you are also playing in. Or Mercury can also help you find words to work with your deep, emotionally intensive material, maybe in psychotherapy, but not necessarily. You may also do it individually. And so after the 18th, words, thoughts may help you go deeper, maybe a writing practice. Now to Venus. It starts the month in the sign of Leo. Leo in your horoscope rules your day-to-day activities, your professional responsibilities, the way you take care of your health, or the way you take care also on a daily basis of others in your life. And Venus here, it was actually here since the 25th of August, but in August it was still a little bit tense. In September it's in fine shape. It can help you make this day-to-day life that you are leading more beautiful and pleasant and loving. So the first 19 days of September, do not be shy to use to make your day-to-day life more pleasant, beautiful. Dress nicely, use the perfume that you enjoy, be nice to your colleagues, think about maybe being less direct and more diplomatic, use compliments generously, this will help you a lot, and think of working with women more. They could also be very helpful in your profession. It's also a great time to work with beauty and fashion and art. So if your profession has something to do with it, then Venus will be very helpful here. On the 19th, it switches into Virgo, and like I said already, talking about Mercury, Virgo rules your important one-on-one relationships, whether it be a romantic relationship or a friendly one or a professional one or a creative one, doesn't matter. Mercury was here, so you could talk about some things and you could find the words to describe problems, issues, wishes. Mercury in Virgo is very discerning. It's really good to make lists, to identify things. But Virgo, also discerning, but it's more diplomatic, it's more loving, it's more about, yes, maybe we have identified some problems and maybe we experience some not very pleasant emotions about that. But the goal of all of that is that we want to be happy in this relationship. We want this relationship to work. We want to ensure that in a few years, or however many years you want to have a good relationship, the relationship is still good. We both want to still be there. We are working on the relationship. We are raising the issues because we value each other. So if emotionally, after the Mercury transit, you feel that the relationship is a little bit tense, then use the time after the 19th with Venus here to restore some of that loving attitude. Make sure that people you are in a relationship with know that you value them like crazy, that you think so many nice things of them, that you are admiring them probably. That would help set the balance a little bit, and it would also restore the wish to work on things together. Well, if that would be all that's happening in Virgo, I would have stopped there, but no, we also have a new moon in Virgo on the 21st of September, and it's not even just a new moon. We've already had a new moon in Virgo in August, and that one was amazing to start something together with any of those wonderful people, romantically, friendly, whatever. So the way it happens is that the previous new moon in Virgo was in the beginning of the sign, and now this one is at the very end of the sign. It always happens when some like new moon or full moon falls in the very first degree, then the next full moon or new moon is in the same sign. Maybe every year and a half it happens. So that's a slightly weird thing, but it's also a solar eclipse not just a new moon. So new moons are for beginnings. Solar eclipse, especially one like this one, that's a little bit about finishing things and saying goodbye to things and letting things go. It could be about the fact that not every relationship is worth saving and working on. Some relationships are just not worth it. So if during the first 20 days of September you try it with someone, it could be a romantic partner, it could be a friend, it could be a professional, a colleague, a creative collaborator, and you did what you could and it's not working, then the solar eclipse on the 21st could make it obvious that, yeah, it's just not worth it. You are not going to be investing much effort and time and attention and love into this relationship, even if it was good at some point. It could also mean some sort of an evolution of a certain relationship where you were more formal with each other maybe, and now you're more close, also a possibility. Or it could be that there was a pattern of behavior between you that was making it toxic, unhealthy, and you talked about it and you restored love and trust with Venus. And now you are ready to let go of this pattern. And so your relationship becomes actually good and healthy. And the thing you let go is this unhealthy pattern that you were both engaging in. Or maybe one of you was engaging in it. I don't know. The important thing to keep in mind here is that to make the right decision here, you need to remember of Saturn in your own sign, because the eclipse is opposing Saturn, so it's influenced by it. And Saturn wants you to take yourself seriously. So take yourself seriously, and then it will be easier to make relationship decisions with more certainty. Finally, Mars. What it does in September is that it starts the month in Libra, in your area of intimate partnerships and funding and your own psychological depths. I talked about this area when I talked about Mercury. Mars is just adding some like energy and motivation in there. And then on the 22nd, it moves into the next sign of Scorpio, which Scorpio is your area of expansion. It's where you do something that expands your own horizons or somebody else's horizons. It could be higher learning, science, culture, media, publishing, traveling, international relationships. And Mars here is going to give you energy and strength and power and motivation and the sense of entitlement, so you could start doing some of those things. And the cool thing about it is not just that Mars here is strong, but also that Scorpio is your fellow water sign. You are a water sign and Scorpio is also a water sign. And so Mars, while transiting Scorpio, will be forming beneficial, harmonious aspects with your own Sun. So it will be more supportive. The more you do something that expands your horizons or somebody else's horizons, the more you are active while doing it, the better you would feel yourself. And also Jupiter is now also in a water sign of Cancer, so it will be supporting you and allowing you to grow and giving you luck the more you are serious about yourself and the more you are active in things that expand your horizons. Now, if this resonated, consider subscribing to be notified when the next forecast comes out, and have a beautiful September, Pisces.